In 1920, America passed a law that became the biggest social experiment in history. The name of that law was Prohibition. It meant making alcohol illegal across the entire country. The government believed that if alcohol was banned, crime would automatically decrease, homes would become better, families would improve, society would become more disciplined. On paper, the idea looked perfect, but real life doesn't run on paper. What happened was the complete opposite. Alcohol didn't stop, crime didn't decrease, and instead of society improving, it became even more tangled. The real truth was that Prohibition didn't stop alcohol. Prohibition gave power to the mafia. The government thought that if they simply made alcohol illegal, people would stop drinking, but they underestimated human nature. The reality was that people drank. The reality was that people wanted alcohol, and the reality was that they had no intention of giving it up. This was post-World War I America. People were tired, mentally broken, emotionally exhausted. For them, alcohol wasn't just a drink. It was escape. It was relief. It was celebration. Prohibition shut down the supply of alcohol, but it didn't even touch the demand. And there's a simple rule of economics that remains true in every era. Where there is demand, supply will always emerge. The only difference was that now the supply was no longer legal. It went underground. And where supply becomes illegal, crime turns into a business. This is where a new path opened for the mafia. A path that wouldn't just give them money, but power. When alcohol was legal, prices were normal. Competition was open. Profits were limited. No extraordinary power was concentrated in anyone's hands. But the moment alcohol became illegal, everything changed. Risk increased, supply became difficult, and prices touched the sky. What was once ordinary became luxury. And when something becomes luxury, it doesn't just create money, it creates control. At that moment, crime lifted its head, and the mafia realized this wasn't just the alcohol business. This was a power game. After Prohibition, when the doors of legal bars were shut, the cities didn't fall silent. New York, Chicago, Harlem. The nights were still alive. People's habits, their stress, their social lives. None of that disappears with a law. Alcohol didn't leave the city, it just went beneath it. This underground world had a name, Speakeasies. A speakeasy wasn't just a simple bar. It was a hidden world. Sometimes behind a tailor shop, sometimes in a bakery basement, sometimes on the upper floor of an apartment. From the outside, the door looked completely ordinary. No sign, no lights, no noise. Just a small window or slit where someone inside would look out and ask, "Password?" If you had the right word, the door opened. If you didn't, that place simply didn't exist for you. Inside, it was a different scene. Jazz music filled the air. People were laughing. The dance floor was full. Women and men who had never openly danced together before were suddenly free here. This wasn't just a place to drink. It was the illusion of freedom. Outside was the government's law. Inside was their own law. Every speakeasy needed alcohol to survive. That alcohol had to come from somewhere. Smuggled from Canada, made in a secret factory, or delivered by a bootlegger's truck. This supply couldn't be handled by one person. It required a network, and that network belonged to the mafia. A speakeasy owner knew that if he bought alcohol from the wrong people, his night, maybe his life, could end. So he went to the Mafia. The Mafia didn't just provide alcohol, they provided protection. If police were coming, warnings arrived first. If a rival gang showed up, they didn't leave alive. In this way, speakeasies stopped being just bars. They became control centers for organized crime. Money flowed through the darkness of the night. Cash, no receipts, no taxes. With every drink served, the Mafia became more powerful. And these weren't just working-class hideouts. Politicians, businessmen, police officers, all were seen inside. Everyone was breaking the law, and everyone knew the law only existed on paper. This is where the Mafia learned the biggest lesson: control. They understood that if you control the city's nights, you control people's habits. Jazz, dance, alcohol, romance, all of it was in their hands. Speakeasies didn't just give them money, they gave them the pulse of the city. And when a group controls the pulse of a city, it stops being just criminal, it becomes power. So when we say speakeasies were born, it doesn't mean a few secret bars opened. It means a new world was born beneath American cities. A world where the law didn't rule. The Mafia did. Prohibition didn't eliminate alcohol from America. It removed it from the legal world and handed it directly to the criminal world.